What is good with the YouTube? It is your boy, Sean Rock to the represent Mandatory Thrive HGBM, because every day it is mandatory for us to thrive. And I am back again with another video. And in this video, I want to share some truths. I'm feeling good, y'all. I just had an epic cheat day, man. Chinese food, pizza, chicken, oat and honeys, nutty bars. So I am feeling happy and full, and I train very minimalistically. So I feel very, very, very strong and very, very full. I'm not stuffed by any means of the imagination. I just feel very solid because I'm used to always feeling fatigued and stuff. So I feel very good, man. And I hope y'all feeling good out there as well. So in this video, I want to give 5 tips for men in their 30s, 40s, 50s that are on their journey to becoming a high value male, and some things that you can do. And I want to also say that I'm in this journey as well, so I can relate, and these are things that I'm implementing in my personal life, and I see them to be very, very effective. I feel like every day is extremely productive. I'm adding value to myself, I'm growing, everything's going as planned. So please implement these. So tip number one, you must, at bare minimum, you must be working full time, 40 hours. But if you're in your 30s, in your 40s, 50s, working full time is not going to cut it. It's not enough. It's not enough. Given the fact that you may be a little behind, or you may be like me, who's a guy who really cemented and discovered his purpose in his early 30s. And I'll talk more about that later on in the video. I've been doing things of my purpose my whole life, but I really understood these things like in my early 30s. If you're a guy who is in that particular position, you absolutely must be focused on the 80 beast. And the 80 beast is, you need to be productive at least 80 hours a week on something that's making money, or something that's going to make money in the long run. So here's what I suggest. You'll be working full time, 40 hours, working part-time, 20 hours, and then another 20 hours you're invested in some type of high level skill, or selling something or doing something, so that you're able to establish your basic needs, and also be in a surplus and be able to build for the future. Because when I initially started, I started just focus on working 40 hours, and 40 hours was just covering my bills, and I would get frustrated because I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't save, I couldn't invest, various different things. So once I decided that I'm going to work 40 hours plus 20 hours and another 20 hours, I've noticed that I have a great amount of money to invest and save, and I'm able to splurge a little bit like I did today. Like I spent about $30 to $40 today on food, which is a lot for me. And I wasn't like, I didn't feel bad, I didn't feel ashamed, I didn't feel wrong. And it's because I've been working, doing the 80 beast. So you got to do the 80 beast so that you can have money for now, you can have money for later, and you can have money for fun, and you can have money for investment. Invest in a skill and figure out what you want to do. So that's the first thing. Number 2, slow down, stop, or pretty much slow down or stop dating, and prioritize semen retention, fasting, and things like this, because these things are things that's going to help you push you to the next level. Semen retention has helped me a ton. I'm not going to talk a lot about semen retention in this video, but if you haven't implemented semen retention, implement semen retention. One of the reasons why I always struggle to even work 40 hours, I think, is because I was always busting nuts and jacking off and smashing all these different females and stuff. So since I've been on semen retention, it makes me much more productive. It makes it a lot easier for me to work, different things like that. And so try semen retention, and also stop or slow down dating depending on your position, where you at. If you're one of those guys, most guys get distracted by women. Women tend to want more and more of your time as you begin to communicate and conversate. So you have to pick and choose if it's worth it to you, if you want to casually date or not date. It's totally up to you. It depends on your life circumstances. For the majority of guys, I think until you get a really good groove, you probably should just stop dating for a little while, and just put the women on the back burner until you get at least a good rhythm to where you going and you feel solid about it. So that's the second thing. Prioritize, stop or slow down on dating. Practice semen retention. That's number 2. Number 3, get your mind and body right. Get your mind and body right. Yeah, working 80 hours a week, it's gonna be pretty hard to work out and all that stuff. It's hard for some people to work out 40 hours, so they say, but it's totally not true. To get a great body, all you need is about, at bare minimum, you can develop a great physique, a great body with 3 to 6 hours a week. You can do this. You can definitely do this. My suggestion would be for people that's clutch on time is to do full body routines 3 times a week. Full body routines with cardio at the end. That way you only have to hit the gym 3 times a week, right? 3 times a week, maybe 90 minutes each session. This is totally doable. Do heavy compound lifts, weighted stuff, weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, weighted squats. Really, those are main 3 big lifts that you really need. Weighted dips, weighted pulls, weighted squats, and then you can throw in some incline bench press, some bicep curls, and some shoulder raises. That's all you really need to really build a great physique, man. And then do you some cardio at the end, and you good to go. Is it going to be detailed like a bodybuilder? No, but you can build a great solid physique off of just something like that. So prioritize that. And then secondly, of course, like I said, get your mind right. You got to be reading 15 to 30 minutes a day. You can read on your lunch break. Like at my part-time job, I read on my lunch break, and stuff like that, man, because I'm able to, squeeze that in, and it's not causing no extra time loss because I'm able to read, like I said, on my break. So you can read on your break, you can read on your way to work, you can do audio books, but you got to get your mind and your body right. So prioritize that, because that's going to build your confidence up. It's going to build your self-esteem up. It's going to make you much more productive than what you're used to being. So these is just five good tips to help you on your journey to become a high-value male. And like I said, I'm not a high-value male in terms of external success. I'm a high-value man here though, for sure, and I'm on my way to becoming a high value male. This is like my first year, man, and I've made leaps and bounds, and I talk more about that at the end. Number 4, this is a big one for me. This was my kryptonite. I think this is a lot of guys' kryptonites. You gotta have a long-term vision and patience. You gotta have a long-term vision and patience. Patience and long-term vision is the biggest contributor to people not getting where they want to go, because they either overestimate the time it's going to take, or they underestimate themselves, right? It's either one of those two things. I've done both. I would say I've always overestimated how much time it's going to take to really develop, and I haven't had the patience or decided to create like a flow of lifestyle that fits into the now while you on your way to the journey. I've never been that type of person except for like now. Like that's how I'm doing it now. What I would always do is like I will put my head to the plow and I will work and say, I'm not going to start building a lifestyle or doing anything until this happens this way. And it never will happen that way. You will always be waiting. You will always be frustrated, and you will not have no fun on your journey. You would not want to go put no 80 hours in and no work. You're not going to want to do none of that because it's just all work, and you're going to eventually burn out. Or you could be just not working and just not doing anything. And that definitely won't benefit you in any way. So the next thing is you got to persevere, save, be low key, and just put your head to the plow, man. And like I said, for me, I had developed a career in my early 20s, but it wasn't what I wanted to do because I grew up. I didn't get my education. You know, I did a lot of different things that wasn't beneficial for me in my direct early 20s. It was difficult for me to like get any other type of career. So once I got some sense of a career, I jumped on it and I clung to it, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. It was, so I would say I utilized my 20s, my late 20s, very, very productively, like doing things that I should have been doing, but it wasn't the things that I wanted to do. And then around right in my early 30s, I quickly realized, oh, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't what I was made to do. Even though it's a great opportunity and I can make a lot of money doing this, I can have a great follower, I can be a great leader, blah, 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 so forth and so on. That's kind of what happened to me. Some people, they just blow their 20s, and whatever the case may be, you got to figure out what it is that you want to do and work towards it every day. And it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to be diligent. You're going to have to stay focused. You're going to have to remain in the fight no matter what. And understand that a lot of times it's going to be you. A lot of people are not going to see it, and a lot of people aren't going to understand it. You're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. You're going to have to not be able to go to certain events, and then certain events you will be able to go to. It just all depends on what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it and what it all makes sense. But this is some of the tips that I have, man. I hope this video helps. Remember, dream big, work hard, live great. Don't stop. It's your boy, Sean Rock to the AKA Lil Nicky. Salute.